Welcome back to the Rebuild and Rise podcast. I'm your host, Rob Vest. And if you listened last time at episode 1, we walked through these 10 questions that were sort of like core questions to help form your success DNA. And they're designed to, get you thinking about who you were, what drives you, and maybe what's worth reclaiming back in your life. Now, today, we're going to take that idea and the idea of reclamation, and we're going to apply it to something even more primal, and that's movement. Now, I'm going to take you far back, like a decade or 12 years ago, I think, to a blog post that I wrote that was Why Move? And that post was sort of like the seed that grew in to CrossFit Williamsville and eventually Invest Health and Performance, and then this podcast that I'm making today, right? And what I wrote then is it's certainly as relevant as it was 10, 12 years ago, if not more so. Um, Titled Why Move, I think it's that there's a problem that we face in our society, and it's we've forgotten what we're built for. And when I say that, and even when I said it back then, I think it's what I truly believe now. And the quote directly from me was, we were meant to move, to crawl, to jump, to hang, to push, to pull, to climb, to play. And somewhere along the way, as we age, we forget how to do that stuff. Now, if you think about it, as children, we were perfect little human animals, right? Movement was almost instinctual. You didn't need motivation to go play tag or climb a tree or hang upside down on monkey bars. You were, like I said, that perfect little human animal, strong, flexible, curious, explosive. We all learned through movement. Almost everything we learned was through movement in the beginning. And then this thing comes along, school. And all of a sudden, we're being forced to sit still. We're being told to focus all the time. We're being told to stop fidgeting. And if you fast forward that 20, 30, 40 years, and now all of a sudden, we're being told to move again, to get all our steps in, to stretch, to find balance. We pay monthly subscriptions to undo the conditioning that stole what we already had. And that's really not evolution. It's like amnesia, right? We've engineered convenience at the cost of capability. And our bodies have sort of become these storage containers instead of these instruments of experience. Now, the truth is, for most of us, your body isn't really broken. It's probably just incredibly, incredibly bored, right? It's sitting there just quietly begging to be used, not to be abused, but to be used, right? Your shoulders, they want to reach. Your hips want to hinge. Your lungs, they want to expand beyond what your 9-to-5 job sitting at that desk will allow you to do. And I think it's important that we realize as we're meant to move. We're designed to move, not just to exist. That's ultimately what led me to opening CrossFit Williamsville 13 years ago, the way that I did it. I didn't want to house just a warehouse of machines. I wanted to create sort of a playground for adults, right? A place where people could rediscover what their bodies were truly capable of. Now, every time someone steps in to that gym now, or they join one of my online coaching programs, I think the mission is, regardless of their goals, it's actually very, very similar in nature. In my brain, I want to connect them, or rather, I guess, reconnect them to their human design. Because even though a lot of fitness is about looking good naked, I really want to teach people how to live in their bodies sort of awake, right? I want them to understand how they're feeling and understand how their body should move, and really make them understand what they're truly capable of. Now, when I wrote that original post, I think if I dig into my heart, I was pretty frustrated. I'd been a personal trainer for a few years at that point in time. And I was frustrated with our culture at whole that seemed to celebrate sedation, where success meant you get to sit in a nicer chair in a bigger office staring at a bigger and brighter computer screen. And today, hopefully over the course of the last 12, 13 years, that frustration has evolved clearly into a purpose. Now what I see is sort of everything. Movement can be a metaphor for everything, I should say. When we move, we evolve, and when we stop moving, we decay. And I don't want you to even just pigeonhole it. I don't want you to think of movement as simply physical. I want you to believe it can be mental, it's emotional, it's certainly spiritual. And when I say move, it's not just like get up and work out or don't just, simply hit the gym. I mean, let's make it where we learn to move towards a conversation that maybe you've been avoiding, right? Move toward the version of yourself you've been putting off or postponing. Move toward discipline because every form movement is the antidote to stagnation, right? And that's what this podcast is really about. It's what I'm really trying to just tap into is helping you move again, not just in your body, but quite honestly, if I'm being fully transparent in your life as well, right? Now, I got a challenge for you this week, and you can take it. And I want you to ask yourself, I want you to reflect a little bit and think, where have you stopped moving, right? Maybe it's been your body. Maybe it's in your business. Maybe it's in your marriage. I want you to find one area that's gone still, that's become stagnant, and I want you to take one physical step forward. Go for a walk without your phone, right? Drop into a deep squat 5 or 6 times every hour. Do 10 push-ups, anything that reminds your body and your brain that you are still alive and you are still capable of thriving. Because when you move, momentum starts to build. And when momentum builds, everything starts to shift, guys. So here's what I'd love if you did. If this message resonates with you, please share this episode with someone that is stuck also and someone that needs could benefit from movement. Follow and subscribe. Leave me questions. Tag me on Facebook. You can find me at my name, Robert Vest II. You can find me on Instagram at the Rob Vest. It sounds pretentious, I know, but I just want to remind you guys that you were born to move. You were built to rise up, and you were meant to reclaim all these movements and all this feeling that you had when you were younger, right? Until next time, guys, I'm going to sign out now. Keep rebuilding, keep rising, and please, please, please never stop moving.